Hello everybody, welcome back. My name is Francesco and you're watching Movement Monastery. Today we are going over moves from Overwatch. Oh yeah! Now if you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. And of course don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Let's get into the skill. Alright, now you wouldn't expect this to be a very difficult move to do, but when I did this shoulder pop, which is a dive onto your shoulders and then popping off your shoulder at the end, the hard thing about this is I had to aim behind me and fire towards the camera because in the cinematic sequence, Tracer is fighting back and shooting in the middle of this. Alright, so in this video you see Hanzo climbing up the side of a wall. You see this in the first person perspective as if you're playing the game itself, and then you also see it in the third person perspective in the cinematic sequence. There was a warped wall at the gym I was at and it provided the best possible scenario to show the mechanics of him using his hands going up to the top of the wall. Okay, and this next video is kind of a weird one to read because Tracer's being thrown from the gorilla dude forward, and Tracer's kind of doing this aerial exit but traveling forward. It was a really hard thing for me to kind of figure out what I had to do with, so I ended up doing it like a Branny entry with an aerial exit and then aiming the direction that she's aiming inside the video. Okay, this is another one of those moves that you wouldn't think would be that difficult, but just because of the way it is a highly technical movement. In the video what's going on is this villain is shooting a grappling hook at a wall, they're flying towards the wall, and then as they get to the wall they place their hand against it and they do a round off to the top of the wall. So this is technically an elevator move. An elevator move is when you're traveling toward an object, you push off of it and you land on top of it or past it. Okay, so you're going up and you're traveling forward while also pushing off of whatever the object is. They are difficult to figure out how to do, and most people do them off of their legs. So it's really hard to do it off your arms. What I ended up doing is traveling toward the wall, pushing off a panel mat on the floor, and then pushing off a slanted wall and doing a round off of it. In the video, they're doing it with one arm, but there was no way I had that kind of strength in my arm to do that. In the end, I was just happy to be able to somewhat get this skill looking well, because it was really hard to keep my form throughout this skill. Okay, in this next sequence you see Tracer diving toward this panel and then planting the hands on top and doing a front handspring off the front of it. This is probably one of the easier moves for me to do, but a lot of people have a hard time doing front handspring based work because it's probably one of the harder skills to learn as a beginner. Alright, in this sequence you see Genji doing a flip over the top of Hanzo, and there's a half twist at the beginning and then coming down and landing on the floor. So you have to take off, do a half twist backward, and then land. This is a lot different than doing a front flip and then half twisting out of it. Very different kind of feeling. And this one you have to force the twist really, really early and then make sure that you're clearing the object going over backward. Alright, in this next clip you see Tracer jumping over the top of Reaper and in the middle of doing the front flip, fires down upon him. I actually really enjoyed this one. It was one of the few skills I was able to hold a real strong air form in the middle of it, so the final product of it ended up looking a lot like what the video was from. This is another one of those cinematic sequences I couldn't wait to do just because it was going to be a little simpler for my skill set and I could see myself doing it before I even got to the gym. Here you see Lucio skating along the side of a wall and doing a gainer off of it. I ended up just doing a swing gainer off the top of an object and just doing it into a laid out position. This might be one of those clips where I do a redemption run later on just because I have other ways in my mind where I'm thinking about how I might shoot this part of the video. I might even do like a 3-step wall run, 2-step wall run into a gainer off, which would be pretty sick, and I think I would love to see that happen. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! This skill was a little bit harder for me to figure out the right position of my body to be able to get the best video of it, because this person's in a kneeling position, and then from there they are actually going into a one-arm TD rise over the back of their shoulder, kind of like a one-arm back handspring with a step down at the end of it. I eventually did this off the trampoline to the mat because it allowed me to get the airform the way I wanted to, and it was a lot softer on my knees in the process of it. I probably couldn't have done this on the harder ground just because of the amount of power needed from a kneeling position to be able to do this skill. Okay, in this next video you see Tracer upside down in the middle of a side flip, firing off her weapon. This is actually one of the skills I was looking forward to a lot because I knew how well it would turn out post-production. I literally was visualizing how I would do this way before I even got to the gym. And though it might be quite a simple side flip for most people that practice the things that I do, I was probably looking forward mostly to this flip versus any other thing I was going to do.
To learn some new tricks. Learn some new tricks.
Okay, in this clip you see Tracer jumping over the top of the villain and then disarming and grabbing the weapon as they flip over to the other side, doing a hand plant down the middle, kind of like doing a one-arm cartwheel, but there's a side flip entry into it. It turned out actually pretty well, but I really wish I would have had someone there that I could have actually grabbed their rifle from in the middle of it, because it just would have added more effect. The 1.5 twist into an Arabian. In this scenario, I had to do 1.5 twist, which takes a lot longer to spin around, and it's harder to orient your body to where you are forward because you have to wait a whole extra twist before you have to flip. I ended up doing this off of a higher surface to a lower surface. Inside the video game, Genji just does it straight up into the air, probably jumping about 2 stories high, doing his twist, and then front flips onto the top of the platform. Okay everybody, thank you for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit that like button, and of course make sure to hit that subscribe button. I want to know what animes, video games, or movies you want me to reenact. Please let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy these videos, please consider joining my Patreon and becoming a patron. These videos do take a long time to put together, and I would appreciate any support in allowing me to create these things for you. Thank you everybody, and you all have a great day.